Hello and welcome to the first episode of What Now? For today's episode, I have a very special guest, my first guest, Natasha.
Hey, I'm Gabby's bestie.
Natasha, do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, so I'm Natasha. I'm a senior. I'm majoring in psychology, minoring in child development, and I'm currently doing research into psych labs. And I'm also from Singapore, so shout out international students.
Eight. The title of this episode is I'm a freshman in college, what now? It's because we wanted to talk about what I think I would consider, and I don't know if you would consider, your first what now moment in college, when your family drops you off in your dorm and then they like leave and you guys maybe cry. I cried. And then she's like international. I live like 10 minutes away from campus and I was crying. But that feeling when they just leave and you're like, oh my God, and you're just like in your dorm and it's like, what? I'm here. So to give you guys an idea of the overview for today's episode, we're going to cover 3 topics. The first one is how to make friends in college. The second one is how to manage academics. And then the third one is what to do with your downtime, aka how to master time management. And then we're going to end the episode with advice that you guys submitted on Instagram about advice you would give yourself your freshman year. Okay, so for today's episode, I was doing some research and I was reading articles from college students from around the US. I was reading papers that they wrote about their freshman year experiences, and all of them included the struggle to like make friends and meet new people. So, Natasha, can you tell everyone about your experience meeting people in college?
I feel like freshman year was definitely difficult for me. I was in this group of like 8 girls in high school and we were friends for 6 years. I had the bad habit of like always comparing like every person I met in college to like people in my high school. And it was definitely a culture. Yeah.
You did that to me.
Oh, I did. We don't talk about it.
We don't talk about it.
I got past that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I did do that to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
MB. Yeah, that was like what made it the most hard because I was like, oh, like they don't get my humor. Oh, they don't get like these jokes I'm making about Singapore because like I went to a British school in Singapore, so like low-key like the humor and the culture is a bit different to the US.
Because I've heard people who are like from different places, even in the US, that humor and like being able to like vibe with people gets different when you leave your hometown.
Yeah.
So how did you like figure out how to manage that?
I think you just have to, off the bat, like people aren't gonna show you their true colors yet, so you can't just be like, oh, that person's not opening up to me, like they don't get me, like they're not gonna get you because like they don't know you either, so they're not gonna like you're not gonna know who they really are. So I say like you just have to like put that behind you, and even if you're not vibing with the person yet, you like give it a bit of a shot at least, and then you find out what they're like, and then you see like oh maybe like we'll just be like distant friends, or like oh I really get along with this girl. Like you just have to give them the chance to show their true colors. And even like so, if you making friends with that person's gonna introduce you to other friends, and then that friend could be like the person you get along with. I think it's just, I feel like in college, like making friends is so much trial and error.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just
totally
like trying, and if it's not, you move on, and blah, blah.
I was gonna say, when you were talking about that, it reminded me of when you and I met, because she's my best friend, but the first time we met, we didn't even like sit next to each other in class.
Wait, the first time we met was, Gabby doesn't remember this.
I don't remember this.
But I met her like very briefly because you were like friend of a mutual, and then like it was during Prio, and then I didn't talk to you though. I heard you and I knew you existed. Wow. And then we had class.
You were just like there.
Okay.
See, guys, it's like
wow.
crazy
I guess I was just there.
Okay, well now it's like important, but at the time.
So we were in like freshman writing.
We had a freshman writing class together.
Freshman writing
and
class
then
together.
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah. But I think freshman writing was like the first one.
Yeah.
And then I saw Gabby and I was like, oh, she's in my class. Like I just knew of her. But then we didn't sit next to each other.
But my first impression of her was she was so intimidating. I don't remember why.
It was Wait, oh, okay. So basically, like, context, I used to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Is it?
Yes.
Was it that?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. And no, it was not badass at all.
Yeah.
It was not badass at all. I got choked out. It was like I died in that, and I lost I lost the spar.
Who is this girl? I was so scared and intimidated.
Yeah, and then we met, and then I walked into entrepreneurship. I will remember this forever. Because
I remember this too.
I like walking to entrepreneurship. Gabby was sitting near the front, and I saw him. We made eye contact. We were like that, and then then we made eye contact. Hey, and then I sat next to Gabby, and then we like small talk. Oh, we're in the same class, blah.
Yeah, that was it. That's all I remember.
But then until in that class, we had to do an icebreaker because entrepreneurship gotta be like confident and like break barriers and stuff like that. So then like we had to intensely like it was an exercise. We had to stand up, intensely stare into each other's eyes, and like mimic each other's movements. Oh, we're on the ENT website, yes. And then after we left that class, I really appreciated it because Gabby asked me what my Instagram was.
I did?
Yeah, you were like, hey, like, and you talked to me, and then like. It was really refreshing because I feel like after like the first semester, I was really struggling so much, and I feel like I was always the one asking people like about themselves or like asking people to like get lunch because I feel like most people would like stick with their friend groups in like pre-O or orientation, which is fine. But like I like that was like, to be real honest, it was mostly me doing that. And then when Gabby did it, I was like, oh my god, I love her. And then like and then I was like, oh my god, yeah. And then we like got each other's socials.
Yeah, I will say like a part of freshman year, and I don't know if you want to talk to this, but like it can be really exhausting constantly meeting people, having to schedule things, seeing what you like. It's like speed dating.
Yeah.
Every single class you have.
Yeah.
It's so exhausting. And I feel like if you guys are going through that, if you're current freshmen, like you're so valid. Like take your downtime, take your me time, and like I would say like trust your gut about who you feel like you're vibing with. But what would you say? Yeah,
I agree. I'd say like don't judge a book by its cover. That's like my advice, because like your best friend from high school might totally like be different to your best friend in college, but they're still gonna be like your best friend, you know. And then like definitely take time to yourself because it's so overstimulating sometimes.
It's so overstimulating.
Yeah, but also be more open to like trying new things too. I feel like that's how you meet people, and that's how you really figure out stuff for yourself. Because you're only 18. Like, when you're a freshman, you're only 18. You were 17. She's baby.
I'm baby.
I'm like 2 years older than you.
Okay, we don't have to talk all about that. I was really smart. I skipped the 5th grade. Anyway.
No, yeah, I think that's like, don't judge a book by its cover. And
that's
like,
good.
Yeah, that's like my advice.
Okay, so we realized that we look like we hated each other in all those other clips if you're watching this on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok. So now we're like closer. So the next topic is how to manage academics in college. So to prepare for this part of the podcast, I actually read a study. I have to pull up the name because it's really long. I did my homework. This study is the longitudinal analysis of stress among incoming college freshmen in the Journal of American College Health. Their objective was to examine the changes in stress during the first semester among freshman undergraduates and identify predictors of stress. Can you guess what their results were for the first thing they wrote for what was the most stressful thing?
Academia.
Yes. How did you know? Their first is stress was elevated during exam periods. What? No way. Okay. Anyways, also lack of sleep. That's not surprising.
Yeah, not surprising.
And emotions, they talked a lot about like emotions of like fear and anger also as causing a lot of stress, which I think is like really valid because like, and I think it can apply to academia because like I was pretty scared to go to classes at first. It was intimidating.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're not going to cover like all of that, but I wanted to mention it to say that like if you are experiencing this or you have, it's been scientifically proven.
Yeah, so you're not alone.
You're not alone. Yeah. So Natasha, I wanted to ask you first, what did you think about academics at college your freshman year after having been in high school for the past 4 years?
I think it was definitely harder because like you're so in charge of everything's just so independent. Like you have classes and it's not that many, but then the work you have to do outside of class is like is what's hard to manage sometimes. I will say I did IB in high school, which did help me a lot in like in terms of independent work, but it was still like IB was so much more structured. Your teachers kind of like told you when things were due, but then I think in college, like you have to read the syllabus and then realize when things are due, and the teacher won't tell you. Like you gotta put it in your schedule and stuff. I think like all that independence and me having to do things on my own instead of being told what to do was like hard.
So Natasha, how did you feel before your first exam, if you remember it, or like your like first big assessment in college?
I think I remember like my first paper, and it was actually freshman writing class, and I don't know, I'm not used to writing papers at all. So when they told me like 5-page paper, to me that sounds like nothing now. But like at the time I was like, whoa, I need to dedicate so much time to this. So I was kind of stressed, and like I would like keep myself in the room to like do it. But because I was so new to it, and I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm meant to be doing this paper. Yeah. But I'd say like something good that I would do is like I would ask the teacher questions a bunch.
That's really important.
Yeah. And like if you're unsure, just ask. And then if you need help, like use resources that you have in school. Like they had writing help here at where we go. And then so I used that
too.
Yeah. Yeah. I used that all of freshman year. And then yeah, exam wise, I think I just studied for it like how I would for high school, and like memorizing notes, all that. And then but I think like the content was just so much for such little time, because in high school it's like you're tested on like a year's worth of content or 2 years, but then like this is just like one semester, so you only have that time frame, but it's like the content is like as if it
hefty.
It's as if it could be a year of high school content. So definitely was stressed for that. Didn't do like how I wanted to, but I don't know. I think I was like decently okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because I remember like, fun fact, I used to be an econ major. Yeah, we don't talk about it. And I remember studying so hard for our first exam, and I think I got like a C or something. And I was like, what? I was like, excuse me? And I was like so confused. I was like, wait, but I like studied so much.
Yeah.
And like I thought I understood the material, and like it hit me like a truck coming to college. And like the academics are to another level. And not to say that like, I mean, you know this too. You're going to be capable of it. Like I was fine, but it was just, it took a little adjustment.
Yeah.
For sure.
And don't be too hard on yourself.
No,
because like no one will get it perfect on the first try. It's completely a different way of testing. Yeah. Definitely you get the hang of it just with time.
Also, I wanted to ask you about your thoughts on like the differences between teachers in high school and like professors in college. Because I remember when I was in this history class, and I asked the teacher to help me with my paper, and she was like, oh yeah, you can give me a call. And I was like, give you a call?
Yeah.
This woman calls me on my cell phone. She's so nice. She was like, oh, like, Gabby, like, what do you need help with?
Yeah, same. My finance professor said like, oh, just give me a phone call. And he was just on his drive to work. There's so much opportunities with professors.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because like as like for psych, like if you're into research, and usually before grad school you like do research and stuff, like you're probably surrounded by really published researchers, like your professors, and it's so easy to access. Like it's just like you know them and you see them, but then they're also like they can give you so much opportunity.
It's like the easiest networking, I feel like.
Yes,
it's like they're right there for you.
Yeah, so talk to your professors. I feel like go to office hours. Yeah.
Yes.
Go to office hours.
Go to office hours.
Yeah. I feel like people like are intimidated by professors, but they're really just there to help you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. I mean, I got an internship. Remember last summer from one of my professors because I asked him for help, and then he was like, "Oh wait, what about working at my business?" And I was like, yes. Yeah. Please.
Yeah. See.
So like, talk to your professors. They're really there to help you.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share about your advice for academics?
For academics. Don't get too consumed by it, especially if you're really like, if you were like the top student in your high school, and you probably might get overwhelmed with the fact that everyone else is also the top student from their high school, because you're going to the same university with all these people that like competed with you. They're like at your level. So like, don't get intimidated by that. Like just focus on yourself, and like if you're not getting the best grades you had compared to high school, like don't be so hard on yourself, because like you're literally like starting a new life and you're living by yourself, and like everything is different. So you have to remember all these factors also influence your ability to study.
Yeah, prioritize your mental well-being for
Yeah.
sure. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Do your work, but
Yeah. But you will always have work.
C's get degrees. No, I'm just
Oh, that rhymed.
C's get degrees. My therapist taught me that. I don't get C's, mom and dad. I just want to preface that. But, you know, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you know, and obviously it depends, like, you know, if you want to go to grad school and stuff. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So for the last topic today, we're going to talk about downtime in college and how to master your time management. This one really hits home for me because when I was in high school, I was doing like a lot of extracurriculars. Like if I wasn't in class, I was either playing tennis, in the dance studio, or practicing piano or something. And I remember when I came to college, I was like, what? I had so much free time. And like, don't get me wrong, like, you know, we played tennis and like
Yeah.
I had dance classes eventually, but like it was like
Yeah.
completely new lifestyle.
Yeah.
And you basically are set to structure your schedule yourself. It's not
Yeah.
like high school where they like give you a schedule.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wanted to hear about your experience with that.
Yeah. I completely agree. It really was like a lot of free time because I feel like a lot of people who did all these extracurriculars too, it was
Yeah.
like largely motivated for college too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you liked it, but like it was also partly maybe to get into your college because it's so competitive. I feel like in my freshman year, I tended to like, because everything was so much effort to join. And like, also you have to do it all yourself. Like in the past, like kind of your parents would help you find what's the best tennis academy, what's the best volleyball club to join. And then when you're busy with school, you're not thinking about, oh my God, like extracurriculars. It's largely like clubs where you gain satisfaction for your extracurriculars. Like you have to join clubs. I feel like in freshman year, I tended to like just like scroll. Like that was bad. Like with all
Like
this
on
free
your
time,
phone, you
yeah,
mean?
I would just like mindlessly scroll.
Was it like on social media? Was it Instagram? What was it?
Yeah, I mean Instagram, TikTok,
Yeah.
yeah, which is not great.
We
Yeah.
love TikTok, but
We love TikTok, but it's not good. It's not good for our
Nah.
time.
yeah. Also, I learned how competitive clubs were. Like not all of them are, but like the clubs that I wanted to do or that I thought were cool, it was like a process.
Yeah.
And it was like overwhelming. Also,
Yeah.
it's hard when like they only like select a handful of people and like hundreds of people are let's say
Yeah.
trying out for tennis or I don't know, trying out for like a dance club or something, you know?
Yeah.
And it can be like for me it was really disappointing, I guess, not to be able to just so
Yeah.
easily do what I love to do.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't know why they make it so competitive.
And that
I-
could just be also like at our school.
Yeah.
Now that they know that like it was hard for us to be able to like do, you know, the extracurriculars that we did in high school, how did you manage to create a new schedule for yourself where you could not have so much, well, like like match your downtime, but like fill it up with things to do that you actually enjoyed?
I think like if we're just looking at my freshman year, like, because I couldn't really do tennis, I would just increase the number of times I would go to the gym. I will be completely transparent. In my first semester, I didn't go to the gym that much. Literally had freshman 15. Like, no, like compared to how I was in high school.
I could never tell.
Yeah, thank you. That's very nice.
She's a skinny legend.
But no. Yeah, so freshman year I didn't go to gym that much. But then like spring of freshman year I started going more, and then I would just go more often and for longer periods of time to kind of like fill up the space. Yeah. Or like go on walks and then
Love walks.
you love walks.
Yeah, I love walks.
Yeah. Oh, she really does walk.
What did you find became your thing? Because like now you're like a gym bro.
She's
She's a gym bro.
I am not a
Yes,
gym
you
bro.
are.
No. Gabby's being too kind. I'm not a gym bro. Gym bros are gonna come at me now.
Don't come at my bestie, gym bros. I think you could learn from her.
No. Gym was like kind of my thing for a while, and then in end of junior year, I got introduced to bouldering. Shout out bouldering. I feel like everyone who's like,
Yeah.
if you're in your 20s, you're probably bouldering or training for a half marathon or something.
Bouldering is trending right now.
It's
You know
really
that?
trending.
It's really trendy.
It's really trending, and I succumbed to it.
No, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's so fun. Like, there's a
Wow.
reason it's a trend.
For some of us, it's really scary.
Oh, how Gabby.
Guys, it was like traumatic. Anyways.
No, yeah. So I got introduced to that, and then I was like, oh my God, I love this. And then, like, I did it over the summer, and then I decided to try out for the training team at my school's like climbing team. And then I was surprised I got in, and then I was like, oh my god. And then like that's like and then I love it so much. Like, I don't know, I think this is like, honestly, it's kind of late, but like this is the first taste I have of being part of a club.
What was like your go-to organizational method?
Oh, Google Calendar.
Yeah,
I love Google.
This is also why we're best friends.
Google Calendar.
Because, yeah.
And we love to plan.
And you're the only one that's not scared of my Google Calendar. Everyone else is like, oh my God.
I was a bit terrified at first. I'm not going to lie. Her Google Calendar
because I like put when I have to like I put
study.
everything.
Yeah, everything.
Study, homework.
So it doesn't look like she has any free
dinner.
time.
But I do.
Yeah. She puts the free time as a block.
I put the free time as a block. I do.
No, yeah. No, but it works for Gabby. Gabby's like, you're probably the best time management person I know.
Oh,
I'm really good at managing. Yeah, she's really good.
Thank you to my therapist of many years. Yeah. But
GCal is really good. It's like also visually pleasing, and I feel like college, like so much things are happening.
For sure.
You like hang out with your friends, and then there'll be like so many hangouts, and you have to like be like, wait, can I even go to, like, does it overlap?
Yeah.
And then like calendar, like deadlines, school, clubs. You gotta use some kind of calendar, I feel. That's my advice.
And I do have friends who use like bullet journals or who like to write things down.
Yeah.
So that's you too.
Yes.
That's great. But like actually put in the time to do it. How did you find the balance between self-care and being social and managing your classes, considering you have this like new schedule that's literally yours to build?
I feel like it really is trial and error because you don't know how long it takes you to do certain work.
True.
Like, you could be really fast at like doing like reading responses, or you could be really good at English. Yeah, no, me too.
No.
But English readings, maybe you're better at reading that than doing like math problems kind of thing. So you kind of you like struggle a bit. This is always me. Even though I'm a senior, it's like beginning of semester, I'm struggling a bit because I'm trying to figure out like how long it takes me to do stuff, and then I get the hang of it, and then I arrange stuff.
Yeah. But that's really good to know that like even as a senior, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Because like that's for me too. And I feel like if you are a freshman right now and like you're like, what the heck, every semester so far, well, there are only 2 semesters, but like at the beginning of both semesters, I've been like swamped with all this work and I don't know how to handle it. That's not gonna go away. Yeah. You're just gonna get better at managing the stress that comes with it and also feeling less overwhelmed with everything.
And everyone around you is going through the same thing. So you kind of like trauma bond over it. One thing to take away from my side is just like don't think that you have to finish your work like because you can't. Like your work just won't be finished. Like you just have to do stuff that's like due by the deadline, but like you won't be done with all your work. It's just not possible. Like all your work and have one day where you have no work at all.
Like getting everything done ahead of time.
Yeah.
Don't do that to yourself.
Because in freshman year, I used to be like, I can only hang out with people if everything is done.
Yeah.
And
that's not how it works. I've had like the biggest switch in mindset around academics where I'm like, I need to get what needs to be done, but I'm not going to let that consume my life.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, but for me personally, academics was so important in high school. In college, for me, my number one priority is like family, friends, my passions, then academics.
Yeah.
You know, because we're about to like enter real world life, right? They're not gonna care about an essay I wrote that's due tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, damn.
Yeah. But you know?
Yeah. Completely agree. Yeah. There are bigger things in life.
There are bigger things in life.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So for the last part of this episode, we're going to do our first advice session. So I asked our listeners to respond to my prompt on Instagram, which was, what advice would you give your freshman year self? So I'm going to read some of the things that they said, and we're just going to see if we agree, what our thoughts are, okay? All right. Soak it all in. That's deep.
That is deep. I guess let's just like enjoy every moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, because time will fly.
Time flies. Yeah. Like it's so cheesy, and I remember freshman year people being like, soak it all in, blah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I don't
get
want
me
to.
out of here.
Yeah.
I was like, I hate this place.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, emo.
Yeah, I know. I wish I had like another year or something.
Yeah.
But
like another year with my friends, not of classes.
Yeah.
Next one. You are on your own timeline. I like that one.
Yeah, you are on your own timeline. Don't compare yourself to people. Because, like, yeah, that's where social media can become, like, bad. Because you compare yourself and you're like, oh, why haven't I made friends already? It's been a month.
Like, girl, those friends are probably fake that you see on there.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's really hard to become good friends with someone in 1 month. Like, it's just like that.
A year.
Yeah.
Okay, next. You don't have to stick to just one friend circle. Find people you enjoy all over.
Yeah.
I really like that one.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we both have different friend circles.
Yeah,
like we don't just stay in one.
No.
Because in high school, it's so much more cliquey.
It was super cliquey.
Yeah, you definitely stay in one friend circle in high school.
Yeah. And I feel like in the beginning of college, at first, it feels like a little bit cliquey per se. Especially if you do like pre-orientations.
Yeah.
But I would say like, just like talk to everybody. I mean, my favorite thing is just like having friends from all different spheres of campus.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're like a multifaceted person. Yeah. So you have many interests, many things to you that different friends fulfill.
Yes.
So it makes sense to have more than one friend circle.
Give yourself some grace if you're not having the ideal college movie experience. I mean, that's just like facts.
That's so facts.
That, like, I don't even have anything to say.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah.
Don't
compare yourself to, what, Legally Blonde?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, wait, that was
High School Musical. Oh, wait, no, that's high school.
What's a college movie?
Like,
or maybe like a TV show.
Gilmore Girls?
Gilmore Girls.
Although Rory was kind of a loner.
She was kind of always a loner. Yeah.
Yeah, but she was fine with it.
But she was fine with it. Well, just any like.
Yeah. There's also definitely going to be people telling you, like, oh, college years are your best years. And, like, sucks to hear that if you're not having a fun time.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah. So just take that with a grain of salt. I mean, people's experiences doesn't equal yours.
Next one.
On to
microwave ramen.
What? Wait, is this advice or just, like, random words?
What advice would you give your freshman self?
It's just microwave
ramen.
I mean, I personally don't have that much microwave ramen. I'm gluten intolerant.
Oh, right.
It's a pretty college thing to do. It's yummy.
Yeah. It's pretty stereotypical, but like go to.
Yeah.
I actually like my freshman year, my mom like stacked me up with like canned foods.
Canned food?
Like not like canned foods, but like ready to go soups and stuff. Dude, they were nasty. Like
I've never heard a college student having that.
Yeah, like she was like, in case like you don't like food at the dining hall or you're like super hungry or you're in a rush, it was like, I don't know, chicken noodle soup, like
I feel like that would taste
it was not good.
Yeah, I feel like that tastes worse than dining hall.
And she didn't know. She was like, oh, let's give it a shot and see if like it could be good. It's like, mother, I did not like that. It was nasty. Rubbish.
Nasty.
Here's another one. Decorate your dorm room. That's like, of course.
Yeah, I literally like last night I was at a friend's like dorm room and like her dorm room was so pretty and like it made it just
guys, it makes the biggest difference.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
It makes it like make your room your happy place.
Yeah,
like seriously, when I decorated my room my sophomore year, freshman year was terrible because nothing would stick on the walls, but they would like fall on me in my sleep. It was so bad. But sophomore year, my roomie and I like coordinated. We like went out of our way to like make it super
your room
nice.
Was really nice.
Yeah,
her room was really nice.
Thank you. Like it made the biggest difference on like my well-being.
Yeah,
because it was just so like.
Yeah, dude, I gotta do that. I still don't do that, and I'm a senior. Like. The biggest decorating thing I do is like just put my big ass like Singaporean flag and hoping that like counts as decoration.
No, you also have pictures.
I don't my room now.
Little cactus. She has the dancing cactus.
Yeah, the one that entertains babies.
Yeah,
but instead really entertains me.
Oh yeah. Also, one more thing I want to add: get yourself a plant.
Like a real one.
Like a real plant.
Like what type? Like cactus?
If you're like me and you're like a plant killer, sorry mom. She rescues and rebirths all of my plants.
Aww.
Yeah. Anyways, if you're a plant killer like me, get yourself like a succulent or a plant that doesn't like need a lot of water every week, because I just think it brings so much like life to your dorm and it makes it feel just like I don't know, like you're not like stuck in this like concrete jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next one. Try anything that you're slightly interested in.
Yeah. That's good because like you don't know if that's going to become your full hobby. Just got to try new things.
Yeah. Like, and I think also for classes, because I came into college not knowing what I wanted to study, and I declared my major my junior year. Yeah, my junior year. And like I was able to find it because I just like looked at these classes on our like class agenda, and I was like, oh, that seems cool, let me try it. And I loved it, or I didn't, and I learned.
Yeah.
But you never know if you don't try it.
Yeah. So like try classes that like take electives, you know?
Yeah.
Try classes that you think like you may not like. Like my minor in child development was done by accident because I was just taking a bunch of like classes I was interested in, and they all happened to like basically complete the minor. I just have to do one more class this semester. So like yeah, just you never know where it can take you. And now I'm in a lab that's for child development.
Word.
Yeah.
Next one, be more spontaneous.
Yeah. Be more spontaneous.
Feel like
yeah.
I'm only doing that like I think I told your housemate we're not disclosing names yet. I was like, gotta be more spontaneous. Just say yes to everything.
Yeah. My housemate told me that you said that.
She did?
Yeah.
No, I think it's because like freshman year I was so consumed with like figuring out how to manage my time, right?
Which is fair.
Which is so fair. And it's only until like sophomore year that I could be like, oh yeah, sure, I want to do this, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But I'd say like no, freshman year I feel like that's good advice. Like
yeah, it's good to be. I feel like and you're a freshman, like you kind of don't have to worry about too much yet. Yeah. Like in terms of like jobs and stuff. So you really can be
just try new things. If someone's like, hey, you want to like try this new restaurant?
Yeah, and just go. Even if you've
go.
never eaten that cuisine before, or want to play pickleball, you've never played pickleball.
Yes. You guys should always play pickleball. Shout out pickleball club.
Gabby loves the pickleball club.
That's right. All right, last one is don't be afraid to go to therapy.
Yeah.
That's a biggie.
Yeah, exactly. And also like your university, at least ours, like we have counseling services which are free. Like make use of that because like
for sure.
Yeah, because it might be like you might feel like, oh, isn't this meant to be my best years? Like I don't want to ask for help. Like this is meant to be my best years. But like people who are also struggling are not going to talk about it, so you're never going to see it on social media. So then you might think you're alone. But like, you know, people are struggling, they're just not posting about it because, you know, people don't do that.
Also, I mean, I'm a huge proponent for therapy. If your school has it, you can ask Natasha.
Yeah, big advocate.
I'm a big advocate. Like if you feel like literally, I think like if you feel like you want to talk about anything, if you're going through anything, like don't wait until you're at your worst. I think that's the biggest thing for me. Don't wait till you're at your worst.
Yeah.
Always reach out for help. And if you don't want to go to therapy, like try to like talk to maybe, I don't know, you're close with somebody in your family or if you're a freshman and you still haven't made your besties yet, like maybe it's a friend from home or I don't know, a sibling.
Yeah.
But
let people know, you know, like if you're struggling, like, let people know. Don't like keep it to yourself. It's gonna pile up and then like it's not good. Therapy works, guys. Psych major.
From a psych major and a therapy student. Well, that concludes the first episode of What Now. Thank you for coming, Natasha.
Thanks for having me, Gabby.
My pleasure. Let us know what you thought about this podcast in the comments. If you want another part also, because there's a lot of stuff that we didn't cover.
Yeah.
So
let us know.
Yeah.
And reply to Gabby's stories.
And reply to my stories. So
about advice.
You can be featured in the advice sesh.
Yeah.
But thanks, Natasha. And
thanks, Gabby.
That's all. You're welcome, Natasha.
My pleasure.
And that's all for I'm a freshman in college. What now?